Hi everyone, so I'm back with a great off-campus opportunity, and this one is with Cognizant. So if you don't know by now, Cognizant is hiring for the batch of 2025 right now. So this is a very important opportunity because as you guys already know, the hirings for 2025 batch are slowly decreasing, and for 26 batch it is increasing. So for 25 grads, this is one of the biggest hiring opportunities that we're seeing this year. So for all of you 25 grads that are looking for a job, I highly recommend that you guys apply for it because there's a good chance that you'll get shortlisted here because most of the people that do apply get shortlisted and are able to crack it. Okay, so in this video, we'll be talking more about the role, we'll be talking about the eligibility, and I'm going to talk about the process and how you can prepare so that you are able to crack everything end to end. So make sure to watch the complete video and then apply ASAP. The link to apply is going to be in the description box, and you have a little bit of time before the deadline. You have a little bit of time. So watch the complete video and then apply ASAP. Link again is in the description box. And if you're someone who's having difficulty in off-campus placements, if you keep on applying everywhere, but you're not able to get a call back from anywhere, you don't know what changes to do, you don't know what you can do to get shortlisted, or you're having trouble in the interviews, you're having trouble in the online assessment, or you don't know how to master DSA, you don't know how to master development, or any other issues you're having in your placement journey, then you can connect one to one with me, and I'll personally guide you and mentor you and make sure that you know exactly what you need to do so that you are able to crack your dream company. So you can connect one to one with me. The link for that is going to be in the description box. All right, coming back to this opportunity. So, like I said, Cognizant, GenC, the hiring is going on right now, and this is exactly for the batch of 2025. All BE, BTech, MTech are eligible basically, right? Except a few branch like leather technology, etc. But most of the branches, or almost all of the branches, are eligible for this. Okay, and this is specifically for the batch of 2025. You have a few eligibility criteria, such as you should not have below 60%. Okay, you should not have any arrears, you should not have any backlogs, and all those things. So the entire list of eligibility criteria exact you'll find in the description box. But as an overview, 25 grads are eligible for this. Okay, if we talk about it year wise. Now, of course, you can apply with the link in the description box, and you have to be very careful while applying because you have a variety of things that you have to follow. It's not like any other application that you just put your resume and be done with it. No, here you have to be very particular with the application status. So make sure that you go through the page once by yourself and then make the entire resume accordingly because they have some minor things that they want you to do, like having a photograph in the resume, things like that. You have multiple documents that you need to upload. It's not just your resume, you have to upload your documents, you have to make sure your DOB is correct, you have to make sure your name is correct everywhere. So all of these things are there. So I recommend that you're very careful while applying. Do not apply for this in a rush. Okay, and like I said, you have a little bit of time. It's on Superset platform, which is like how they do it basically, right? So you have a bit of time, take your time and then apply properly. Okay, so for Cognizant GenC, you guys already know the package that they have is 4 LPA. The eligibility criteria I already discussed. If you have any doubt about it, you can ask me in the comments and I'll clarify it there for you. Now let's move on to the process and how you can crack it basically, right? So the entire process, basically how it looks like. First you have the screening, after that you have the communications and the aptitude round, after that you have the technical assessment, after that you have the interviews, and then finally you get the offer letter. Okay, so this is how the entire process is going to be like. Now if we talk about each of the round in details and how you can prepare for it or what you need to do for it, right, let's get into that basically. So first thing is the communications round. Now communication round is not going to be difficult. It is not something that you need to explicitly prepare for. Most of it always is just like, listen and repeat. So a phrase will be given to you, you have to listen to it and then you have to repeat it, or you have to speak on something. It's not something that you need preparation for. It's just that your verbal communication should be good. You should be able to speak normally, like the way you normally do in interviews or in any other place. You should be just able to speak normally in English. That's pretty much it, right? No explicit preparation is needed for communication. But for aptitude, it's different. Aptitude is going to be a bit difficult. In fact, aptitude is the place where a lot of people actually end up getting rejected. So, what is going to be there for aptitude? You're going to have 30 questions and then you're going to have gamified assessment. Now, these 30 questions are not going to be easy. They are going to be around medium range, can go to hard. So, you need to be very well prepared for aptitude. So the best thing that you can do for aptitude, because there's not a lot of theory, there's not a lot of conceptual things to do, it's all about problem solving. So what I will suggest is that you solve a lot of problems on aptitude. So you'll find Cognizant problem set online, right? You'll find GenC problem set online. I'll give them in the description box as much as I can find. Just practice. It's all about practice. try to solve one problem in 1 minute, and out of those 30, if you're able to do more than 25, well and good. Okay, after that, you have gamified assessment. Gamified assessment are basically where you are able to maximize your scores. So again, gamified assessment will just be like games that you have to be quick in. Okay, your speed matters in the entire aptitude and communications, right? Aptitude mostly, because communications is different, right? But in aptitude, your speed matters. The gamified assessment, the aptitude, you have to be in a good speed, right? So go through the previous year questions, go through all of the previous year questions, and make sure that you have a practice of solving aptitude problems. Okay, solve as many problems as you can for aptitude is the best advice you'll hear, because it's not like DSA, it's not like any other thing, it's just problem solving, it's just solving a lot of problems. Okay, now after we go from aptitude, you'll have the technical assessment. Now in technical assessment, you'll have different skill cluster. The default cluster is going to be in Java. So you'll have three options. You'll have Java, you'll have Python, and you'll have C Sharp. So let's take one for example. Like let's take the Java one. So you'll have two coding problem. You'll have a web dev question, which will be like a basic web dev, basic web dev technologies, HTML, CSS, all that thing. After that, you'll have SQL. You may have questions from cloud, and you'll have like questions on coding, basically, right? So this is how it's going to be like. Again, it's not going to be too difficult, but it's not going to be easy either. The coding questions are going to be decent. If you have practice of solving medium problems on lead code, the coding problems are not going to be difficult for you. But you need to have a good knowledge of the language you're appearing for. If you're paying for Python, make sure you have a good knowledge of the language. If you're paying for Java, make sure you have a good knowledge of Java, right? All of the Java concepts you need to go through. If you ask me what language should we go for, I always recommend Java. So I'll be recommending you guys Java only. And I'll give you guys some resources in Java so you can prepare better in Java. Of course, coding problem is not going to be too difficult, especially if you do problem solving, if you've done DSA, if you've done lead code, if you've done a lot of problems, it's not going to be that difficult, trust me. But for the things like SQL and all, you will need practice. So again, you can go through the previous year questions. I'll also give you guys some interview experiences in the description box. You guys can go through that and you'll get a good idea on how to prepare. Okay. Now, after this, you'll have the interview. So a lot of people go through all of the rounds and then they get rejected in the interview. See, in the interview, the first and foremost thing is that you have to be confident. Okay, don't overdo it, but you have to be confident. You have to sit with a smile on your face and just be relaxed. I know it's not easy to do, easier said than done, but just relax and try to be in a calm state of mind. That itself will help you in so many ways that you can't even imagine. So the interview is going to start with some basic things like introduction. They're going to give you some basic questions on the language you've chosen. They'll ask you questions on OOP. They'll ask you about your interest. If you say AI, ML, if you say whatever you're interested in, they'll ask you follow-up questions on that. But the most important thing is that you need to be good with the language you're using. If you're using Java, they will ask you questions in Java. If you're using Python, they'll ask you questions in Python. So make sure that you're well prepared with the language you're using. You can expect DSA problems as well, but nothing too complex, probably like an array problem or a string problem, which you can solve by using a frequency array or a hash map or something like that, right? Important topics, again, I'll give you guys in the description box, and you can expect sort of anything in the interview, but nothing will be too difficult. Okay, you just need to communicate your ideas well. You just need to communicate well in the interview. That's going to matter a lot. Okay, again, go through the interview experiences. I'll give them in the description box so that you know exactly how do the interviews go. But generally, like I already said, you'll have a little bit of DSA, you'll have a discussion of the things in your resume, you'll have a discussion on the interest, you'll have a discussion on the language you're using, and you'll have a discussion on the projects and the latest technologies, latest buzzwords, keywords, which Cognizant interviewers love to do. Okay, so these are all the things that you absolutely need to prepare on. More details with resources will be in the description box. Once go through everything, so you'll have a good idea of how things are working. So you have a bit of time, make sure that you apply for it. I highly recommend that you apply for it so you get one offer, and then afterwards you can keep applying, you can keep preparing. IT is a sector where you never stop preparing, you never stop applying, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure that you apply for it ASAP, and make sure that you keep preparing and keep applying, because even though there are less opportunities, as much as there are, I'll be bringing you guys all of the opportunities so that you can apply for them. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see you guys in the next video.